Hey, one way to distract people is just to give them so much to focus on that they can't focus on everything, and they miss the important part. Distract them over here and hit them over there. Um, there's a lot going on right now, and you all need to be paying attention. And as always, there's things you need to be doing. The first and foremost is the bombing that we had earlier today in Boston, right? At the marathon. We'll talk about that in a little bit. What else is going on? Gold and silver prices are just falling. They're in free fall right now, going down. That's interesting. North Korea, remember they were going to shoot a missile yesterday for Kim Il Sung's birthday, and then they didn't. What's going on there? And then Iran. Remember how we were talking about Iran? We're going to hit Iran. Israel's going to hit Iran, and all of a sudden that's kind of fallen off the news, right? No one's paying attention to that anymore, right? Maybe we should be. There's some flu supposedly, in China that's now going human to human. Pandemic scare. Go get your vaccine. Yeah. There's just a lot going on, and of course, the real thing that's going on that you don't even read about is that our economy is just falling apart. Right? This house of cards is getting ready to go. Homeland Security is still stocking ammo, still getting ready for who knows what, they know what. And so, yeah, it's a busy, scary kind of world out there right now. And so, as always, pay attention, but I'm going to give you some things that, I think you might want to do. Let's talk about the Boston Marathon. I used to run marathons. I used to run ultra marathons. I'm thinking about starting into them again. But they're fun, right? And they're hard, and people are there having a good time. And there was security. I thought the response to the bombing was pretty good. It was at the finish line where they have all the medical tents anyway. But what can you do in a situation like that? Well, one thing is you need to avoid crowds as much as possible. When there's a lot of people there, you probably don't need to be there. Out where I live in Shofar Mountain, where I'm going back to, yes, there's no people, to speak of, just the saints, the squirrels, the turkeys, and the deer. And even the town that we're outside of is so small. It's just a little town. And that's a good thing, right? To be away from lots of people, because lots of people are magnets. They're magnets for bad guys. They're magnets for criminals. They're magnets for MRAPs from Department of Homeland Security. You don't want to be where there's a lot of people. I've been telling you forever, get out of the cities, get out of those crowded places. I was just talking to a friend of mine, a woman that's been to our church a couple times and whatnot, and she knows, and she's thinking about getting out, and she's like, hey, what can I do? And so we kind of talked about that. At least she has the right attitude. What can I do? Not, oh, woe is me, there's nothing I can do, I'm stuck here. And so, hey, avoid crowds, right, to the extent possible. Now, what happens if you have to be in a crowd, or you are running a marathon or something, and something bad happens? Couple things. One, you should always have gear with you that'll be useful in a situation like that. Now, obviously, if you're running in the marathon, you're not going to have that gear, but maybe your support crew will have it, in a bag. And carrying around a bag, a purse, a man bag, a sports bag, something like that you can carry your gear in is a good idea. And what kind of gear do you need to carry? I'm not talking about, a stuffed bag just full of 80 pounds of gear. I'm just talking about simple stuff, like first aid supplies, some simple stuff, some gauze, some tape, a tourniquet, bandana, gloves, N95 mask, and one of those disposable ponchos, if something happens and you just want to have, your very basic NBC gear. A flashlight, some money, some cash money, so you can pay for to get yourself out of a situation maybe that you got into, something like that. Just think about that. Some energy bars. Maybe I'll do a video on an urban carry bag or something. I think there's probably a lot on YouTube, but you should have basic gear with you all the time. Some people carry it in their pockets, everyday carry, EDC gear, right? And so start thinking about that. Start thinking, look at that situation in Boston, put yourself in the crowd, maybe right next to somebody who's injured. What do you do? What do you wish you had with you? Things like that. So just kind of think that through, and then take some steps. Maybe make some notes, think about it, look at some video, and then say, okay, it would be good if I had these things. So do that. Avoid crowds, have gear, have a plan, have a communications plan. The cell phones got jammed really quick in Boston because everybody's calling on their cell phone. right? Where is it there? But text was still getting through. Maybe have a card with hard numbers on it, so you could actually get to a landline somewhere and make some calls, let people know you're all right. It's still good advice. Have an out-of-state contact. Aunt Molly, who lives in Iowa, and everyone who in your family knows if the phone lines are jammed, we'll all call Aunt Molly, and she'll be the operator. She'll pass the messages that, I could call her and say, hey, I'm in Boston, but I'm okay, and I'm going, here to get out of here. And then my wife could call and say, hey, where's Pastor Joe? Well, he said he's in Boston, he's okay, and he's moving here. Something like that. Have an out-of-state contact. So you can do that. But just think these things through. Use this, the fact that you weren't there, you can still use it for a training scenario situation to work with. That's one. What about silver and gold? I bought some silver at $37. I don't care. I've got silver. It's going back up. I am not the financial guru. JSnip4, you can check him out. He knows a lot of stuff. He's on YouTube. But there's other people. This is all a paper game, a shell game, and what I personally think, and again, I'm not a financial guru, they're just manipulating this stuff to bring the price down so the big guys can buy all the rest of the silver, and then the price is going to skyrocket. And so I say keep buying it. Keep stacking it deep. Take possession of it. If you've got it in a bank somewhere, you might as well not have it. So, yeah. It's a buying opportunity. How low will it go? I don't know, but I know this, it'll go higher than it is now. And so you can buy some silver and gold. If you have excess money, if you need to park some money somewhere, it doesn't make any sense to go buy silver and gold if you don't have beans and Band-Aids already. So there's that. North Korea. Hey, I've been following that on open sources, and evidently, they have one or two of their missiles on launchers erected, and they're fueling them, or they had already fueled them in advance of yesterday, the 15th, and they can't stay in that state for very long, and they don't defuel them once they fuel them up typically, and so they're going to launch those missiles. They probably didn't launch them because everybody knew they were going to launch them yesterday. Guilty. And they didn't for the birthday party, but I bet you they're going to launch them soon. Now I don't think they're going to do anything. I think they probably don't even have warheads on them. Probably, if they work, they'll splash in the ocean. But what do I know? Japan could shoot one down. We could shoot one down. North Korea could feel like, they got to chest up and do something else, and, whatever. I told my wife, don't even worry about North Korea. They really can't hurt us. I see stuff on the internet. They could launch an EMP device. No, they can't. They can't. North Korea is not the problem. China is a potential problem. They are allies with North Korea, and so I say watch China. North Korea, whatever. Watch China. Now, if there is a conflict on the peninsula, on the Korean peninsula, it's going to be bad. They're going to slime a lot of people, chemical warfare, things like that, and a lot of people are going to die. But as far as you, home, and most of you are in the States somewhere, it's really not going to affect you. Tell you what's going to affect you, what's going to affect me, and I am sorry for everyone who was injured and killed in the Boston thing, and that's not funny. But it's like that graveyard humor. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. But they are just going to use this as an excuse. I have to fly in a couple hours, and I am just dreading it. Just, oh my God, we've got to do all this security now. They went to level 3 alpha or something. Why? The event's over. It's a bit late to do that, but you can guarantee that Department of Homeland Security won't miss this opportunity to ratchet things up more. Stop you on the street and search your purse or something. You watch. They'll do something with this. Avoid crowds. Iran. That's going to happen. We are going to hit Iran. Yeah, I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. All right, that's not the matter. It's not the point. The point is we're going to hit them, and Israel's going to hit them, and then that's going to make a lot of people mad, and then things are going to happen. What's going to happen? I don't know, but now's probably a good time to get your house in order. I said in my book, Survivalist Family, another shameless plug. It's available on Amazon. I said in my book that basic preparedness covers a myriad of situations. Just have food, have water, have medical supplies, have your medicine, have your contact plans, have your bug out bags, yada, yada, yada. be ready. This is a crazy world in which we live, and from my read of what's going on and my read of the Word, it's going to get crazier, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. But then it's going to get much better, right? And we know that. Even so, come Master Yeshua. Even so, come Lord Jesus. Is what it says in the King James. So, hey, bring it, right? Basic preparedness. Think about what you're doing. Make some contingency plans with your family. Stock some stuff up now, whether that's food or gold or water. Or, just take some steps so that you can be prepared. Maybe you want to carry gear in your car, more than you normally do. But it's time. It's been time. Things, I think, are going to start going faster and faster and faster. And I care about y'all, and I want you to stay safe. And I will see you out there.